Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl, Deborah B. Hamilton, your relationship and intimacy coach. I just wanted to go live quickly today to talk about how to forgive your spouse. Before we get started, how you like my hair? I decided to do something different, decided to go blonde, just summer look, right? So hopefully you like it. I like it. I think it's cute. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope that your day is as great as mine because I'm having a really good day. But I wanted to talk about how to forgive your spouse. And if you want to say hi, I'd like to say hi back as you're coming on. And if this is if this is replay for you, hashtag replay, I would love to see that you had the opportunity to watch it. And as usual, give me feedback, what you think, and forgiveness is so important in a relationship. And I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about how we can forgive our spouses. You know, our spouses can drive us crazy, different things can happen in our relationship. We could just get on each other's nerves, right? But sometimes something serious can happen, and it really could take a lot to forgive your spouse for something that your spouse has done to hurt you, even though they might not even have been intentional. But it's just something that definitely happens in relationships, right? So, got my notes, and we're going to talk about being able to forgive and to let go of past hurts is a critical tool in marriage, right? Being able to forgive in a way is a way to keep yourself healthy and emotionally and physically fit. And some people don't think about that. Some people think that when you are feeling upset and you need to go through your process of forgiveness, we don't think about how it actually affects us physically. And it really does. Of course, you know it affects us emotionally. We struggle, we're upset. Sometimes we can get depressed. Sometimes we just want to scream because we're so upset with whatever has happened, whatever has gone down, right? However, we also have to think about the physical effect of how having to forgive your spouse can affect you. So, forgiving and letting go may be one of the most difficult things that you have to do, however, but it's also a way to keep you and your marriage going strong, right? So, some transgressions, like I have said, can be so harmful that a marriage can't survive. But hopefully, um, as we go through this information, you'll figure out ways in which you really can forgive your spouse and understand it's not just for your spouse, but it's also for you. Health benefits. I talked about the physical aspect of it, right? So the health benefits is when you stop holding on to those old hurts, disappointments, petty annoyances, because we all have them, because it's uh, two people blending their relationship, really trying to get along with each other. Everybody come from different households, so we all bringing our personalities together, right? So we also could deal with betrayals, insensitivity, and anger, right? You can be wasting both your time and your energy when you just focus on that, and especially when you nurse hurt. Sometimes we can just, somebody can really upset us, really hurt our feelings, and we nurse it. We nurse it to the max and we won't let it go, right? We just won't let stuff go. However, that can be affecting you physically. And it's sometimes it's real and sometimes it's perceived hurt too. It's not always something that really has happened, but you're perceiving that it happened, right? That's where you're struggling with understanding why somebody has done something to you, right? And if you hold on to that too long, eventually it can turn into something more. It can turn into hate and sometimes bitterness. And what do you think that does to the body? It really stresses the body out when we're holding on to that negativity, when we're holding on to the bitterness that we're dealing with in our relationship. And then it could just wear you down. It could take that mental and physical toll on you. And once resentment gains momentum and chips away at the foundation of your well-being and your relationship, you start to really struggle and sometimes just even having a conversation. However, that is the main time you should be having a conversation with your spouse. When you're struggling, when you're stressed, when you're just feeling um, negative thoughts and feelings, that is the time that you really should be thinking about talking to your spouse and letting your spouse know how things are affecting you. And the next point that I want to bring out is how to forgive your partner, right? Your partner's done something, you're very upset about what your partner has done, and you really want to strangle them, you really want to be angry with them, right? But yet, there's still things that you can do to forgive your partner. So there's different techniques that you can use, and you know, you have to find that place within yourself to be to show forgiveness. Tongue tied there. So consider what you could do. How about being open? Being open and receptive to forgiveness. That's the first step. You have to be open to forgiveness, right? You have to make a conscious decision to decide to forgive your spouse. When you forgive your spouse, that opens the door to relieving whatever stress that you're dealing with because you made the first step. You made the first decision to actually forgive your spouse. And then you could think of something to calm yourself, right? We always want to be calm as we're going through our process of forgiveness. We don't want to stay stressed. We don't want to be angry and push them away from us because that's the last thing that we would want to do. We definitely don't want to push our spouse away from us. We don't want to throw a tantrum. We don't want to have those images of betrayal and have that flash in our mind. You know, we want to be able to restrain ourselves. We're seeking vengeance or, seeking revenge or retribution to because your spouse had made you angry because your spouse has done something that you didn't appreciate. So you want to make sure that you're not plotting to get back at them, right? We don't want to plot to get back at our spouses. We just really want to figure out ways in which we can just calm ourselves down to be forgiving of our spouse, right? And remember that forgiveness does not mean that you condone the behavior. And that's the first thing you need to understand. Because some people confuse themselves and say, well, if I forgive, that means that I agree with what they've done. No, you are not condoning what they've done, but you're opening up yourself to be able to forgive. And that's something that's really important to us. That we have to understand that we're not condoning anybody's bad behavior, but we are doing something for ourselves. We are showing forgiveness to ourselves and being able to forgive the person who has hurt us, right? And you also have to be patient with yourself. You have to give yourself time to process what has happened and work through the disappointment that has taken place because of the hurt and anger or whatever that has happened because of that hurt that you're feeling from your spouse that you can't believe that they've done that to you. Like, how could you have done that to me? So we're taking time to be calm and we're processing the hurt that has taken place, right? But what if you're the one who needs to ask for forgiveness? What if you're the one who's done something that's really hurt your spouse? How do you handle that, right? You have to understand and acknowledge the hurt that you caused. That's number one. You have to acknowledge the hurt that you caused because you caused hurt. So you have to acknowledge it and then you have to ask for forgiveness of it, right? And you have to and so you want to rebuild that relationship, right? So you have to um, forgiveness. Exactly, Glenita. Thank you, Glenita, and I appreciate your comment. That is so true. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Very good, perfect. I love that. So when we are the ones who need forgiveness, right? We want to show true contrition. We want to make sure that you're seriously sorry. It's not like you're going to just throw it out there. Well, I'm sorry. No. You have to really mean that you're sorry. You have to show that you're truly sorry over your behavior. You can't just say, oh, I'm sorry, and leave it at that. No. you have to accept the consequences as well. You have to accept the consequences of what you've done, right? The action that you created that hurt from, right? You have to be open to making amends. And that amends might be what you have to hear from your partner. Your partner will have to tell you how they feel and what they need from you to mend the hurt that you've caused. So you have to be open to that. You have to be open to your spouse talking to you about what has happened. And you have to make sure that you are listening to what they have to say because of the pain that you personally caused. Because a lot of times when we talk about forgiveness, we're always looking at the other person to that they hurt us, but we always have to remember we can hurt our spouses too, and we have to pay the consequences of hurting our spouse. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. But the bottom line is forgiveness is so important, right? Whether you're the cause or your spouse is the cause, you have to be willing to forgive, right? And in marriage, we're constantly forgiving each other. We're constantly having issues throughout the marriage, and we know that there are certain things that we've done that just upset our partner, and there's things that they've done that upset us. So we have to constantly work on forgiveness in our marriage, right? So we all need forgiveness. Every last one of us. We all need forgiveness. And when a person who hurt you is attempting to make the amends and seek forgiveness, how are you going to respond? Are you going to be open? Are you going to say, okay, I'm sorry, understand, but it's going to take time for us to work through it, which is fine. That is okay. But we always have to remember that forgiveness is a conscious decision and a practice of releasing feelings of resentment, right? So you have to release those feelings of resentment to get to the forgiveness piece of it, right? And forgiveness can provide you and your partner with the tools of the process to move on. And even though you may find it difficult, and I'm not saying it's not, sometimes it really is difficult, but being able to forgive is a crucial part of your relationship for the long haul. Because, like I said before, we all deal with having to forgive, and we all should think about how we want our spouses to forgive us. So we have to forgive our spouses. So, in other words, forgiveness is just crucial, period. And especially in a marriage, and in a marriage that we want long term, right? So we're constantly forgiving each other. We constantly are overlooking, how about this? Overlooking small hurts. And in my Married Woman's Forum, I talk about this all the time. It's only a moment. Sometimes it's just a moment where somebody has hurt your feelings. Someone has said something that really hurts your feelings. But if you talk it out and be able to resolve it, then that is the step towards forgiveness. So I just wanted to hop on here for a quick minute to talk about forgiveness and how you can forgive your spouse. This is part of my online course that I'll be doing, and I want some feedback. This is just a small part of it. Forgiveness is bigger than what I just talked about, so I have more information on how to forgive your spouse. But I just wanted to give you a taste of what my online course will be bringing to you. Love some feedback on your thoughts, and I'm also open to what you think my course should be about because I am dealing with issues that I've experienced personally and also issues that my couples have experienced. So just want some feedback and hope that you have enjoyed this little tidbit on forgiveness. And I want you to enjoy the rest of your day. If you want to have a conversation, you can always DM me. I also put in there that you can also have a 15-minute call with me to discuss any issues that you possibly could be having, as well as anything that you want to discuss as far as my course is concerned. So you guys have a great day. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to share this with you, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So talk to you again. See you later.